Recently I was talking to the publishing editor of the New Daily, and he was recounting how a number of people had left his employment. He's been an editor for many years, so these were stories over many years. People leaving without actually telling him why. And he's a very approachable, very human man. And he was saying, why does this happen, Margot? So I wrote an article on it. And one of the funny things that happens when we go to work is that our boss, male or female, becomes our parent. It's like we walk in the door and we become 2 or 3 again, and we look up and we want that parent, that boss, that parental boss, to be the idealised parent. We want them to be kind and loving and thinking about us and looking after our needs and noticing our problems. So when we don't get the promotion, or someone's mean to us, or things don't quite go our way, we expect mummy and daddy boss to notice and come and do something about it. And when they don't, we don't go, okay, that's a human being, I'm a human being, I need to sit down and talk to them and take them through and tell them the solution I'd like and how that solution's going to help them. I throw a little inside tanty, or I sulk, or I just leave. Professor of leadership at INSEAD talks about us having inner movies. These are the projections of our childhood fantasies that we continually project out into the world. And then we live our life not in function of the reality of the world, but in function of these movies. It's sort of like there are no people in front of us, there are just movie screens. And on that movie screen is our inner fantasy. Unfortunately, we don't know most of this. So Bruce Lipton, who's a neurobiologist, that's what he is, he tells us that in any 1 second, we process 40 bits of information consciously and 40 million bits unconsciously. So 40 versus 40 million. I kind of think of that, the 40 is like a little tickle and the 40 million is like an avalanche. In terms of power on our lives, in terms of power on our motivation and our actions. We're aware of the tickle, we are totally unaware of the avalanche. And yet that's what we're doing. We're projecting these movies out, we're operating in function of the movies and then blaming the person behind the screen onto which we have projected the movie. And this is what happens with our boss. The movie we put onto our boss is that of the idolised parent. When they don't live up to our expectations, we get the shits and leave. Doesn't really work. There is another way. That way is to raise our consciousness, to know what we're doing, to understand that the boss is simply a human being with their own problems. To sit down and go, okay, as I'm an adult too, I've got a problem, there is a solution, the solution can help the boss, and sit down with the boss and negotiate the solution. You will be surprised how positive an outcome you'll get if you operate that way.